Hello guys, welcome to my CRYENGINE tutorial. I'm just going to show the basics like the layout of the user interface for the launcher as well as the engine itself, as well as just basic movement that I have picked up from tutorials that I've watched. I'm going to try and make this as coherent as possible, but let's just start off from the beginning. When you download CRYENGINE from the main site, um, it'll ask you to, and you launch it on your computer for the first time, it'll ask you to make an account. I wasn't expecting that. I thought you'd just be able to start it right up. But why would I be surprised by that? Because most of the game engines ask you for login or to create an account. So once you have done that, here is the basic launcher. You got your library, any news, and the marketplace. And once you click on it, it gives you options to submit an asset if you've made one, submission guidelines if you want to look at that, and then you just click on the marketplace to open up a tab. And here's all the stuff from the marketplace that you can get. You could filter it for free, and I've kind of had a look through here. It's got a lot of good stuff. Some stuff for free, some stuff for a price. You could filter it, I believe, for just to look for all the free stuff. Here's some categories for you if you want to narrow it down a little bit more. And then once you do that, let's say 3D models, and I'm still having trouble bringing stuff in. I think I need to do a little bit more research on this, but you go into whatever model you want. Wait, was that Axe for free? Because I'm kind of keep looking at. No, it wasn't. Oh, that's a bummer. Now let's do this. So then you just add it to your library, and I've already done that with one thing. So once you add it under library, you have your assets, project, engines, and submissions. So under my assets, I've already kind of like found a brick house, and here it is. And then you would hit install if it's new, and then you can reveal it in Explorer, validate installation, remove. One thing I did not understand is in the tutorial, the person said reveal an Explorer, and then you would go to the engine itself and reveal an Explorer, and you had to like go under assets, and you had to like transfer stuff over. It seemed like it was making more of a hassle than it should be, because I think that's what I'm missing something. Because you have to find like a file in here somewhere. I just transferred literally everything here over. You go into assets, and that's what I did. I just transferred it all over here. And I'm probably missing something, but I just thought it was, maybe I could import. I should probably try importing, but the way it's looked in the video, I'm like, I feel like you're just creating more hassle than it needs to be. I'm sure once you're in the game, you just hit import, and then you can import the whatever item it is. You just need to know what file it is. So under library, if you go to my projects, it'll list any projects that you have currently open. Under engines, it'll give you options to choose from previous versions of the engine all the way back to 5.0. So I obviously installed the latest version. When you click on these dots, you can either launch, reveal, and explore, because that's just so important. When you go to dependencies, this gives you a bunch of like tools, plugins, a bunch of other important items to add to the to the engine to help you. I'm guessing transfer stuff over, like the Photoshop, as well as Steamworks and FBX, SDKs, all that cool stuff. Then my submissions, I guess you could just submit stuff, which is cool. And then when you click on CRYENGINE, it just brings you back to the main area. You can go under tutorials to find tutorials that you want to see, which is what I did. And if you want to do a new project, you just hit new. It brings you to the library. Then you just create a project. And this gives you a bunch of options to choose from. You could either do blank with C++ or C#. You could, and it basically continues all the way through just like that. You could, so you got a blank, you got first person, excuse me, You got a plugin, you got rolling ball, you got side scroller, you got third person, and you could choose from C++ or C# from any of these. So I'm not focusing on it, so I really don't care right now. You can choose where it goes. I should probably be choosing the folder where I put Unreal, but this is just temporary. And let's just label this movement. Yeah, there you go. And then create project. And this engine loads pretty quickly. I was surprised with that. When I first created a project, it kind of kicked in pretty quickly. All right, and here it is. Here's your basic setup when you open it up. So here's where all your assets will be. This is the level explorer. Once you start adding stuff, it'll list it here. Here's the properties of anything that you select. Create object. I'm still getting used to this. Literally the only thing I have is a sphere. I thought I'd have more brushes than that. And then you have more miscellaneous stuff if you want to add it. But this is where all your objects are to create. And then here's your basic toolbar with your movement. You can select, move, rotate, scale, and all this other jazz. You know, I'm still kind of learning the tools, trying to remember all of them. So in order to create a level and start going, you gotta hit File, New, and then Level, and then level name. I just did level 1, and OK. And then you can choose from a bunch of different options on how you want it on the on the resolution, meters per unit, terrain size, dimensions, color, and then once you hit OK, it'll load it up for you. Like I said, it goes pretty fast. All right, so basic controls. Most engines are usually the same. You hold right mouse button and move the mouse to just kind of look around. WASD to move left, right, forward, backward. If you hold left mouse and move around, it locks it into one view. You're looking in one direction while you're moving around. So up and down, side to side, and that's it. So if you want to look around, you got to hold right mouse instead. And then as you're moving, you could hold shift to move a little bit faster, but not that much. I have not yet looked and seen if there's anything that you can use to control the camera on how fast it can move. But so far, what I've just taken in was you can hit shift because, you know, in video games, shift is usually used to run. So I figured, hey, we'll give it a shot, and it actually worked. I'm just, depressed that it's this slow. I'm surprised just the starting speed isn't that fast. It's fast when you look away from it or zoom in. It looks like it just depends on the terrain that's currently being used. So there's also a terrain editor somewhere around here. Hold up. Okay. So let's say you accidentally close out of everything, which can happen. You close out of this, you got this left, and then you even close out of this, and you have everything just gone. You can go out to the layout, tools, level editor, viewport, and you can choose what your viewport is. Perspective is what we went with, and there's your viewport again. And then you'll see these little like boxes show up around here that will tell you where it's going to go. Place on right side of window, or place it right in the center. And then tools, level editor, create object. You can place it right here, and then it'll put that right there for you. So you can basically just bring everything back. Level properties. You can bring everything back to where it was. So then you obviously can rearrange this and resize it the way you want it to. Then let's try and get the other thing back. Level viewport. Oh, let's just throw in level settings. And let's drop it down below. And let's minimize it. Alright, so basic moving of an object, and this is going to be cool what I'm about to show you guys, because when they showed me this I actually really like this. I don't know if Unreal has this. If it does, please let me know, because I actually really like this. I mean, I know it has snapping, but I don't know if it has like something precise as this. So as for a brush, let's just throw in a sphere, and here we go. So when you click on an object and you hit 1, you bring up the movement where you can move it left, right, along the X, Y, Z. If you hit 2, you can bring the bring up the rotation. If you hit 3, if you hit 2 and 3, wow, you bring up the scaling where you could scale it, and then if you just hit 4, it kind of gets rid of it again. And then that's it. But here's the thing that I really, really liked. So here is just your snapping tools. Let's say we bring in a different sphere real quick. And I'm so used to the Unreal Engine right now. So I'm trying to hit the keys that normally would bring up the scaling and stuff. Let's say you want to snap this to the vertex. If you click on it, it'll get highlighted. Just click once. It'll get highlighted, and when you hover over it, it shows all the vertexes on here. So if you grab this vertex, it should work. Oh, there it is. Okay, there it goes. I don't know why it was taking so long to... let's try that again. So when you grab this and pull and go to the next box, it should snap to one of the other vertexes. And there you go. Now it's lined up perfectly. I want to push E and Q to like go up and down and not have to do this. I need to do more research on this engine. It'll snap for you right there, right on the vertex. Even on any vertex you want it to go, just hover over something and it'll snap right to that vertex. So that way it's very precise. Left click again to undo it, and then you can pivot snap, toggle snapping to scale, snap at an angle, snap to a grid where a grid will show up for you. And then it kind of snaps to the grid throughout that. But let's say you want to rotate it. When you snap at an angle, if you hold down, when you see these little tiny like carrots or arrows on the corners, if you click and hold, it brings up numbers that you can select from. So right now it's set to 1, so when you go to rotate, if you hit 2 and rotate, it'll show every single number. If you hold and go to 45 and rotate, see how you have little like marks for 45 degrees, and it'll snap at 45 degrees for you. Same with 90. This time you get marks at 90 degrees. So that way it snaps at a 90-degree angle for you. I thought that was the coolest thing. I might be missing it in Unreal Engine. If I am, please let me know. Same thing with the grid. You can snap depending on how many. So let's make sure it's selected. And then 1, 2, there you go, right there. Let's select 32. So it's a bigger, see how that's a bigger jump right there? So it basically created a bigger jump for you. So, I mean, that's obviously going to be better with bigger objects. But, and then you bring it down this low. You got a little bit more precise movement along a grid. And it'll move the grid wherever you want it to be. So there you are. There's snapping. And like I said, just make sure you click off of it when it's done. Last thing I'm going to show is linking and grouping items. Um, so with linking items, you basically create like a parent and sibling relationship. So when you click on this and click on both of them and go up to here and you link them, you will have them move together side by side. And you will see this line that shows that they are together. So these are your buttons for that, link and unlink. So you're able to move them together side by side. And this is definitely helpful to be able to keep some precision and keep things together if you're like building like a line or a row of something and you want them to all be together and not moving, you know, and not having to go down the line like one, move this one, then move this one, then move this one. Just highlight all of them, link, and then be able to move them all together, and then just hit unlink. Never mind. But that is how you make a link. All right. So let's just do something real quick with groups. Groups is a little different. So when you select both of them and you go up to level, group, and create a group, it'll give you this little green box around both of them. And now if you select this, you can move items within the same group separately. Or if you click on the group itself, you can move them as a group. So this helps with keeping things together. But if you want to be able to move something separately real quick, you still can, and it increases the box for you when they're grouped together like this. And then once you want to move it together, you just click on the box itself, and there you go. It keeps them together for you, just in this nice little, I want to say it's a nice glass cube that just keeps everything together for you. I'm trying to do all this off of memory because I didn't want to be doing this tutorial side by side with the other tutorial, so I kind of just watched and I wanted to do this just from memory. So let's bring in another sphere, and I believe, if I'm correct, I can move this into, oh, that's right. So if you have this group selected, you can ungroup it right from here, and then everything's back to not being grouped. I remember, where was it? There was a button over here that had attach. I'm trying to remember what it was. If you click on this, it gives you the option to attach something, and I can't remember. Huh. I'm trying to remember this. Hold on one second, guys. Alright. I didn't actually go off of the video. I kind of just pieced it together myself while rewatching a little bit of it. And one way you can do it is if you click on the object that you want to attach to a group, you could do level, game, attach to, and then you find the group that you want, hover over the green, click, and it attaches it for you. And now they're all together. And when you click on this whole group, it moves the whole group for you. And then once you click on the thing by itself, moves by itself, back to the group, boom. So that's just the basic controls and layout of everything and how to move objects and rotate them and snapping. I definitely, this engine definitely needs some time looking at tutorials. You definitely need your time looking at tutorials to get the hang of this engine. There's a lot of tutorials. Once you, like I said, go to here, go to CRYENGINE, and then just boom, tutorials, and it gives you. I'll bring up what I've been looking at, and here it is. It gives you everything. Getting started, sandbox tools, AI, animation, audio, music, graphic, physics, all that sweet stuff that definitely is worth checking out. When I did my comparison of two engines, they said that this engine has the steepest learning curve to it. So definitely take your time learning. I definitely need to look at a lot more tutorials. I was just trying to go off of memory from what I was watching. I didn't want to have the video up in one window and just watching as I'm doing my own tutorial, because I just don't think that's really learning anything, because you're just copying it part by part, and that's why I wanted to just kind of use my memory from what I learned to make this tutorial. So definitely look through tutorials if you want to do this engine. I definitely want to get the hang of it. I will say, knowing Unreal Engine right now has made it interesting to try and just make this tutorial, because like I said, I was pressing hotkeys that normally are used in Unreal Engine in here, and I'm like, oh, nope, that doesn't work. Wrong engine. So CRYENGINE definitely seems like a pretty cool engine to use to make video games. They said that with both Unreal Engine and CRYENGINE, you definitely need a team if you want to create bigger projects, and they've been designed for bigger projects. Not that you can't create smaller games, it's just they were built for big AAA games and spending a lot of time on them, perfecting everything. So I definitely want to give this engine a shot. I think I'm really, leaning towards Unreal and CRYENGINE now. I was kind of into Unity, but these two are pretty cool. But that was my tutorial for basic movement, UI layout, and control of characters.